Now spring's around the corner, it's time to change them elastics. So in this video, I'm going to show you what elastics I use, put through my top kits for different styles of fishing. So if you're a bit unsure, you can make sure you get on the bank and you're using the right elastics. Let's get stuck into it now. Now elastic is massively about personal preference, whether you like a Jura slip, a hollow or a Jura holler. Now in this video I'm going to talk about what elastics I use within my fishing, and just so if you need a little rough guide and you're a bit unsure, I'm going to talk about why I use, what I do, through my kits, what I'm looking for, different scenarios. So let's get stuck into it now. So first of all, from 90% of my fishing, I look to use these two elastics, and there's two reasons why. We've got a 9s holler and we've got a 10s Jura holler. Now you may be asking what different situations we're going to use these in. So dead simple. For a 9s holler, I'm looking for my shallow fishing. In this time of year, between March, April and coming to early May, I do a lot of fishing on F1 venues and smaller carp with eyed and stuff like that. So I'm looking for a nice elastic that can cushion anything from eyed to F1s to smaller carp, and even the odd bigger carp like here at Western Pools there is one knocking around. So for all my shallow fishing, look to use a 9 holler. It's dead soft. When you hook them fish shallow, they don't crash on the surface and finger. You just hook it, glides out your pole nice, keeps it nice and delicate, and just dead simple when you hook them fish. Now for all my deck fishing, I like to use a 10s Jura holler. Now the reason for this is a little bit more beefy than the 9, and it's nice and soft as well. So like I said before, I can catch anything from eyed to skimmers to F1s to big carp on it, and I look to use this through all my short kits. So I've got two short kits here, just my 9s. So my 9s and 10s holler, just through my short kits. It's nice and soft, so I can keep in control of the fish. Now the beads I use are just simply a Dacron connector, reversed, and get your Dacron connector, take the bead off, reverse it and then put it on. And just literally simply tie a knot. Because you'll be catching a lot of fish in it. So the last thing you want to do is tie it on, it to wear and snap off. If it starts to wear, because it's hollow and it stretches a lot, you can move it down, keep it tension, you get a few more trips out of it. As where if you were to put a Dacron on, especially with this sort of fishing where you're catching a lot of fish, it could wear and cause it to snap, and you'll be ever changing your Dacron. So it's just nice, efficient, nice, easy way of doing it. So that's in my short kits. Now you heard me say I said 90% of the time, that's because that will cover me from a lot of my fishing in the early spring months. But here I've got a 13s Jura slip. Now this is probably 90% of my summer fishing I use on the bottom. But like I said before, I go to some venues where there's a smaller carp, I need a little bit beefier gear, might be fishing down the edge, you might be catching some bigger F1s. So when it comes to that, it might get, as the weather progresses, you've just got to take it by here as the weights progress. This is when I look to use the white 13s Jura slip, but it's got to be added into my springtime, because if the weather gets good and the fishing gets really good, I can catch a lot of fish doing this. So like hard pellet short to start with, edge fishing with maggots and ground bait like here at Western Pools, or if you go to some venues fishing meat short, then this is your elastic for it. And then dead simple, from a long kit fishing, if I'm fishing for carp, that's when I like to use long kits. So the reason is you get extra bit elastic, you don't tend to get bottom out as much as you would on a short kits, and it's just you can able to land everything. Now dead simple approach, I've just got two elastics which I look to use. I've got the 11s holler, which is probably one of my favourites elastics for this. I've used it for years. It's nice and soft. I can catch anything from a pound skimmer or a pound stocky up to a 10 to 15 pound carp if I take my time with this elastic. Now I've been fishing here today at Western, and I've actually used the 13s holler for I've actually dobbed some fish. I've seen them, I've mugged them. So that's where that comes in really handy, where you're catching some fish, you're a bit bigger. So that range is probably from like your average range up to £5. But then if you go to some venues where carps do pop up, as you can see the sun's out now as it's just going down, so you can have really hot days in the spring. The fish want to be up in the water, you can see them because the water's still a little bit clear. So that's where I'd look to use a 13s holler. So dead simple approach, 11 and 13s for all my springtime long kit fishing, and then my 9s holler for my F1s and eyed shallow. Oh, that's 9. my 10s for all my bottom fishing, and then when the fishing gets good and I need a little bit more beef, I'm just going to go for a 13-inch Jura slit. Nice and simple. So that's my preferences on elastics. If you're a bit unsure, then you've got to know what I use in my top kit. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.